Stephanie here from Oh You're Lovely, and today's tutorial is all about that thing right back there at the door. We are going to totally solify it. Is that a word? It is today. So let's jump right into this tutorial. Alright guys, so today's tutorial is going to be so much stinking fun, and that right back over there, I'm going to show you how I made that. We're going to put some Sola wood flowers, some greenery, a whole bunch of loveliness on there, and make a beautiful boho inspired wall hanging piece. Alright, let's jump into this tutorial. Okay you guys, so for this tutorial you're going to need a stick, a dowel, some sort of piece of wood. I have a birch tree, so I just grabbed some random sticks that fell off. That one back there is fairly large. This one is just a little teeny tiny piece because I want to show you how to do the yarn tying onto there. You will need, speaking of which, yarn, string, ribbon, rope. I used rope. Whatever you have on hand that you want to use to make your piece, that is what you're going to need. You'll also need some greenery. I'm going to be using 3 separate types of greenery. We've got some faux eucalyptus, we have a spring mix, and then we also have some lamb's ear. All 3 of these you can find in our shop at ohyourlovely.com. Along with, we're going to use Sola wood flowers. I have a mix of some Sola flowers that still have the bark on them, and then we've got some that are cream. So then we'll also need some wires, clippers, floral tape probably is handy, and a glue gun. I think that's it. If not, I'll mention something that I forgot while we're working on this tutorial. All right, let's jump into it. So the first thing I want to show you guys is how to just make the actual string part of it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rope, ribbon, yarn, whatever you have, and you're going to fold it over. You're gonna take your loop, bring your string, ribbon, whatever through, hold on to it nice and tight, and there you go, and go across, filling in as much or as little of the space as you want. Then you want to trim it to whatever length that you want. And then I did also add a little bit of extra trim mixed in there, some that have little pom-poms and little tassels and things like that for an interest. Really up to you. The sky's the limit on how much you can customize this. All right, let's add the flowers. That's what I'm really excited about. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm setting 2 pieces aside because I want a little bit to trail down off of my wall hanging piece. So these 2, I'm just going to set these aside so that we can add those in when we start making our piece. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make these adorable little bundles, similar to what we do when we're doing a garland or one of the wall hanging pieces on a hoop and things. We make these cute little bundles and then we attach them all on there. So this is what I'm doing. I am doing this a little bit different though, because I'm gonna add the flowers, which I normally don't do. So we are gonna wire up some flowers and put them right into the bundles. We'll see if that works a little bit better for this particular tutorial. And then at the end, we're gonna glue in some more stuff, just little bits and pieces here and there. So for right now, all we're gonna do, grab a piece of, and all of my bundles are gonna be similar. So I'm grabbing a piece of the eucalyptus, a piece of the spring, and then I have my lamb's ear, squishing that all in there, trying to remain a little bit flat though. We want it a little bit flatter because it's gonna sit nice and flush up against the wall hanging piece. To hold it all together, I'm gonna grab some floral tape. Remember, you wanna stretch it to activate it. And we're just gonna wind these all together. And then I'm gonna trim it right away. I don't want really long tails because the longer the tail, the more I'm gonna have to cover that up with the next piece. So trim that off, let things fly across the room. And then some of my flowers, I've already given them their little legs. So again, what I've done is I've taken a little bit of paddle wire, folded it in half, inserted it into the flower. And so then I'm gonna take this and I'm going to find a spot on a sturdy piece of the greenery stem, bring this on through, we're gonna twist it And I know this part you can't see very well, but we're twisting it like you would do like a twist tie. And then we're gonna cut off the excess wire because we don't need all that sticking through. And when I do that, then I'll just tuck the rest of the wire into the bundle. And there we go. So now we're gonna just continue growing our bundles so that we can add it onto the wall hanging. All right, I don't know what to call it. Do I call it a wall hanger or a wall hanging? Whatever it is, let's go put these flowers right on it. All right, so the first thing I know I want to do is I do want to have this hanging a little bit. So I'm going to take my greenery and I'm going to kind of fish it into my loops in here. Just a little bit so that we've got some. Okay. And I'll tighten those back up. Okay. And I'm gonna bring that on down. Whoops. And I'm gonna try not to tug too tight on that. All right. And I'll fix the back of that in just a little bit. All right, so there's my hanging piece. I already know that I want this as my first one. So what I've got is I've got my petal wire. I've got a little bit of that, okay, a lot of that, just because I want to make sure I have enough. And we're gonna trim and clean all this up after we have it all kind of created. So we're gonna bring this through and we're gonna twist it together, just like we did the flowers. For right now, I'm just gonna leave the excess wire and we're gonna trim that all up in just a minute. Now as we get here to the center, I'm gonna flip my greenery now the other way, my little bundles. And the space that we kind of create in there, we're going to clean up with flowers in the end. Okay, I think what I want to do though is I want to go out to the other side and work my way in. Having a pair of needle nose pliers is going to be helpful too. I don't have mine right now, but that'll get you a nicer, cleaner twist and tightness. And remember, we do have a little bit more greenery too that we're going to be able to use to fill in some of this space as well. Okay, there's the base of it. We're going to take this over to the work table and we'll finish filling in the piece. Okay, so we have it on the table and we want to just make sure when we're doing this, because it kind of, you want to kind of let it roll and you don't want to do that while you're adding in all of your other pieces. We're going to add in some more of the greenery just to kind of fill in where everything else is. I'm going to just kind of slime things through and then readjust. And then I've got a little bit more of like my eucalyptus. I can pop in a piece in there too, fill things out. Yeah, like right there looks good to me. So I'm gonna get that in there, we'll get this in there. So, whoops, pull off some leaves while we're at it. All right, where'd you come from? As I pull them off. All right, no biggie. We'll just put them on a wire and we'll pop them in there too. And then we'll hot glue some flowers in here too right away, because that will bring all of this together. I'm gonna grab some thinner petal wire for right now. It's a little bit easier on my hands to work with. This is going to be, what gauge is this stuff? This is 26 gauge. I was working with originally 22 gauge. So I'm gonna go up a little bit on the gauge. So that it's a little bit thinner. But what I'm gonna do is I am kind of fishing my paddle wire into where my other, let's see if you guys can see this. So like right where this ends, and that's already attached to my birch log, I'm grabbing my other greenery and we're going to twist tie this all together so that this is a nice and tight connection. I'm just going to glue these leaves right onto this and clear up this spot. There's a little bit of a hole there. So these last little details is where we're going to hot glue those in to place instead of wiring them in. And in 1 minute, I'm gonna pick this up just to make sure that I'm still got the right kind of flow for everything that I want. Because now we're gonna start adding in the bark flowers. So we wanna make sure we pop those in a spot that makes sense for the direction the hanger's gonna go. But my glue gun drips so much that I don't feel comfortable hot gluing while it's still on the door, because otherwise I'm gonna have glue all over my door, is what I'm anticipating. Okay. And these I'm just kind of nestling and nuzzling into the greenery. Since we've got such a nice bed of greenery, all of the flowers can kind of just sit into that greenery. And we want to make sure that we fill in this space a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I might glue in some of these. All right, let's lift this up real quick and then we're gonna see where we have holes, which I have a feeling maybe right around here, down in the bottom a little bit maybe. So we wanna fill in that space with some more flowers, maybe, as I keep putting greenery in. All right guys, so as I'm looking at this, I definitely have a hole right there that I want to take care of. I know originally I said I wasn't gonna hot glue while it's up, but I'm debating in my head at this moment. I also did just add, right before I came back on camera, this darker eucalyptus because I don't have any more of this and I wanted it to trail just a little bit longer. It felt kind of not long enough of a trail. So this color still pulls in with these over here. So it works all together and it's still got that trailing. But now we've got to adjust a little bit. I also want to grab, I'm gonna grab some wire and bring that up a little bit because it's drooping a little bit more than I want it to. So we've got a little bit more adjusting to do. And this also needs to get in there somewhere. So we've got to get that up in there. Okay, so we're gonna add some more flowers. We're gonna add some flowers here, gonna add some flowers here. Going to get some more wire up on there so that that holds up in place, and then we should be good to go. So I'm gonna start doing all of that. It turned out so dang pretty. Here, let me hop over here. There, can you see it a little bit better? I'll pull it away in just a second, the camera, so you can see the full length. It's a tall one. It takes up most of the door. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited how this turned out. There was a little worry in the middle. I still would have liked this to trail just a little bit more, but sometimes you just do what you gotta do with what you got, and that is this situation, but still super magical, super boho, super like romantic, and no dyed flowers. These are all cream and bark Sola flowers. Speaking of which, if you'd like to find out about the 150 Sola wood flowers we carry, along with Greenery and other craft supplies, make sure to check out our shop, ohyourelovely.com. If you're loving these videos, can't get enough, want to know when the next one goes live, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. And until next time, this is Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and you, my friends, are absolutely lovely. Bye guys.